Right, last little tiny strip. Excellent. Weeding and seeding at the same time. Excellent. A little tiny bit of seed left. I think I'm going to get clobbered for costs again, if I'm honest. But it is what it is. It's still, I think we would still be probably a third of the way through the field if we were using the 3 metre. That really goes to show how, yeah, and also my percentage, 81% instead of 60 something as it normally is. So right, okay then, let's, in fact, yeah, no, let's not be lazy, let's take it back. Alright, another job done. We're going to speed time up right until December and keep our eye on the prices. I'd like to see and hopefully sell our produce. That's it for this session. This is going to be a bit of a short one, or I'm going to tag it on to the end of another one. Right, so leasing, weeder, return. Yes. Excellent. We've done we have done that already, haven't we? It was the tractor. It was. Yes, indeed. Right. Oh, let's repair while we're here. Smashing. That's a lot more palatable, which does prove what I was saying on the experiment with new equipment, that much of the damage that is done to us is because our equipment is so small, which means you're out in the field for so long. It's not all. Obviously, that is mainly down to horsepower, because if that had been a normal 9 metre seeder rather than that special one, then truthfully we wouldn't have been able to do what we did then, because the horsepower requirements for most 9 metres. Let's just check that out. Also, of course, there is the cost element, how much they cost. It would clear us out. And it's just, yeah, it's that we're trying to that's a 4, that's a 6, and that is 300 horsepower. 6 210, 6 270, 8 240, 12 180. That's a funny one, to the Lemken. That actually is quite a lot. 300, 85, 110, 70, 90. Yeah, we could afford those, but yeah, we could afford that. But again, it's a 3 metre like we've already got, even though it's a no previous cultivating up, no till at all. It still is what it is. So yeah, of course, we also, if we were going to stick with, we could buy one of the weeders ourselves and do exactly what we've just done there. But again, I think they're 20 grand as well, which is very reasonable when you consider it would also plant that one thing. Anyway, without any further ado, let's speed a bit of time up and see. Let's take us to December, the month of selling. We will also keep our eye on the daily deals, my favourite time of the day. Oh, we have a growth wave. Excellent. Right, what have we got on special today? Mahindra. What's that? Oh, 4.5 metre subsoiler. Instead, oh yes, that's a new mod, isn't it? Yes, I remember seeing that. With us having a 4 metre, I know our subsoiler does exactly the same, so 2.5 metre plough and a I love those. They are really, really good. Oh, is that the smaller one? It's the manure spreader. Ah, yeah. We've already got a means of cultivation of manure spreading, fertilizer spreading, called a Bennett. Even though I know it's, I would like to go that way, but not at the minute. We seriously are saving up for a tractor, so let's pay attention. I think it was 3 sleeps, but let's make sure I don't want to miss December and go to January or anything silly. Been waiting for this month or year, if that makes any sense at all. October. Oh, that's alright then. No items in this page. Huh. That reminds me, am I completely fertilised thinking about this, sitting here like I've got all the time in the world? Did I need to and rolling as well. Yeah. I don't know. I do need to roll. Are we in first growth stage? Let me just check. Yeah, we're good. Right, so then, rolling. Let's get this done. And I think when we're rolling, I'm sure we're only half fertilised if I remember rightly. To be half doing the crop. Right, I'm going into time-lapse mode. It's not fair, this is going to be quite a task. So I'm going to say, I want to see you guys and girls on the other side. Ah, that's doing absolutely no good. I missed the opportunity. Good job it's in first growth stage then. Obviously I'm still learning about this. I really should have done it when it was just pure soil, so I've missed the bonus for that. Let me just make sure I'm on the right one. Don't want to be letting go of the wrong one. Right, okay then. So, let's crack on. One more month. Oh, did we check the daily deals? We didn't, but there is nothing of any use to us there. Unfortunately, although that mower is very good. Again, it was like I said about that other one. It is a shame, but truthfully, we're getting so close to the point where we could afford a second tractor. I don't really want to have taken a loan if possible. I want to see some growth. So yes, I would prefer that. Right, let's. Last month. Oh, sleep anywhere, but you do have to be outside. 8 o'clock. Let's move it to 9. We are moving in the wrong. Oh, okay. Bizarre. Why does it do that? Fortunate property. That's such a shame. Again, I don't believe this. It's a good tractor, that is. I have actually had the Rigi track. I do like them, but again, it's just if we took that now, if we do get a good tractor, I mean that's a cracking deal as well. But again, it's not something we need right now. Right, we have reached the month of December. Now it is a matter of looking for prices. That's all we're here for. Selling. Now, let's have a look. How much are you? 622. That's on the up. So I'm going to save it. So if I make any mistake here, right, let's keep an eye on the current prices. And December is, oh, actually January's a little bit high. I didn't realise that. Let's keep our eye on this though. Let's put time up considerably so we can see it, like 120. Can we see it tick up, or is this another one where you have to go out and come back in? It is. I could have sworn this live ticked up. No, it doesn't. Ah, that's not going up any higher. Oh, it is, it's just slowing down. We should wait till it ticks up to its turnaround point. Check every half hour. Yeah, it's still on the rise. Seems to be slowing though. Oh yeah. That'll do me. That is literally when it's starting to turn down, so stick that to 1. Transport in time. Right, let's get our biggest. In fact, we could take both. Oh, I'm not sure that this is going to like carrying that much. How much does the half pipe actually take? What's the weight capacity? That's another thing I would like to switch on. Actual proper capacity for if we're playing hard economy. I don't think I've ever switched it on yet. I don't know what section it's in either. It must be that one, surely. I know it means more runs, but I want it to be realistic as much as possible. Trailer fill limit on. Right, now how much can you cope with? Okay. I'm going to do one run on this because I'm just intrigued to see how much we can put in here. And then we'll do the bigger one. And gone the half pipe, 97. Oh, we did run around in it a little bit thinking about it. We did. I remember we put some wood in it, so that's the 3%. Right, now then, let's grab. See what the limit is on this. Also, oh, that is a point. We have also got to. Oh, I wasn't the right one, I just wasn't up high enough. Need to be seeing straw. I might have missed the good time on straw. It's on the up. What is the weight limit on this? It is a little trailer. I thought it was. I didn't think it was massive, but right, let's go and cash in our first bit of produce. Let's use the sort of road. The very faint road we can see, or just see, underneath the grass. There's only one buy point on this, isn't there? Yeah, there is. Farm shop. I think that is the grate, isn't it? I'm sure it is. And do you know, it's a long time since I've been actually. Yeah, it is. I remember it very well, actually, thinking about it. Just going a bit rusty. Yeah, if you look to the right, that's what makes those, in my opinion, the not very nice squares, because the ground goes up so high. I did buy that square next to the shop once and did regret it quite a bit in. I think I grassed it in the end. Right, so then we are at. I'm not saying it wouldn't go up a little higher, but to be honest, I was 500 and odd was good, so this is definitely good. Or am I being silly? No, I'm not risking it. It's a good price on hard economy. That's all that matters. Smashing. Now let's get the big one. In fact, I might actually leave this up here. Let's go in a little. I feel like a little tiny ant again. Forget when you do the jobs that you require a big zoom out. Right. Right. Let's get this going. Ooh, I've not left myself much room there, have I? This is exciting, our first bit of where we've actually cashed in on the work that we've done. This is good. Now I do realise that by going for the straw that I need a front loader if we're going to do this, and a bucket, which is probably going to take all of the profit from the straw and then some, but at least it will partially pay for the improvements and the growth in the farm, that we will have a front loader that will also then serve us for other jobs, because the front loader itself is the most expensive thing. Let's put the cover down. 20,000. It's managing that quite nicely. This is exciting times. I thought this time would never get here. And we've got our new crop in the ground, completely ready to rock and roll, apart from we won't get the rolling bonus because some plonker forgot to roll at the right time. At least we've got a full bonuses for everything else. I am annoyed though, it's the whole point of buying the rollers. Let's have a look, have I got that going out the grain door? Oh well, whatever I have, it's very slow, so I would presume it must be. Or it is just a slow unload. We should check when we've emptied this first set out. Wow, that is a slow unload. Oh, wow. Well, it's nice to see it going the... that's 20 odd grand, and we've got a full and another partial, so we are going to have made more than the, I think I worked out, lowest price 30 grand. We're going to break a little bit more than that, which is fantastic. It is. It's nice to be going the other way instead of the money ticking down. The straw, on the other hand, is going to be a big job. We are not even doing that this episode at all. Absolutely not. That's a monster task. Especially with the bucket. It's times like this that I miss my the old snowblower. Right, so 27. 598. Now let's just quickly see which way. Tip side back. Let's change that to tip side right and see if that is any quicker. It may not be. Alright. thought that massive side was quicker than the back though. We shall see. It's a nice trailer. And I can hook up, could have hooked up the half pipe or another one. Not sure if the half pipe could have been hooked up, but I was thinking about the stayer pulling it, if I'm honest. I don't think it's one of those tractors that you should, with 135 horsepower, it's not really horsepower limit, I think, for doing much more than 20 tons, if I'm trying to be realistic. Even though, obviously, now they've got the weight limit on, it would seriously let me know if I could do more. Let's just get that so it's a bit realistic. Let's see if that's any quicker. Oh yeah, definitely quicker. Smash in. Excellent. Definitely a move in the right direction, without a shadow of a doubt. Now then, I do think, I did talk about passive income. I do think now would be the time, because we've got, let's just have a look at the calendar for a minute. We have, when our canola harvested in July, so we have got about 5 or 6 months. Now the piece of equipment I'm thinking of has got passive income of about 1,500, so that over those few months would partially, almost have paid for itself by the time we are harvesting, but would bring in quite a lot of passive income. But also it is in time, I would like to switch. I'll show you, I'm talking riddles, so let me just we'll finish this job off first, then I think we'll place it, and I will explain the limitations I'm placing on myself, because it is a production that also can bring in instability if used incorrectly. I don't want this to become silly where we go from rags to riches due to a production that's we could abuse with having the buying station. Let's just put it that way. Right, there we go. That is the last of our produce for our first year. It is nice to see us on the up though, not the down. Although we are going to take 15 grand of this out and reinvest it, being as we've got the winter to tide us over. Of course, I've got a straw to do first. Not expecting any rags to riches with this, really, to be honest. I mean, there's two things we could really do with another tractor, but also you've got to ask yourself the question, could we then afford the equipment that would justify the bigger tractor? At the minute, the stayer can manage everything that we have. Now then. Oh, why is that moving? We have a little instability. These are brand new. I mean, they were only just long in the mod hub, that's what I mean. 143,388. Excellent. We'll leave both of these up here so we know where they are. They're not hurting anything. Right. Oh, I didn't see the camper. That's how they've probably just dropped. Oh yeah, we've lost the tractor, so... Right, so... we know that the price of straw is going up, and December is it the best month? Let me have a check. I think it is, or is it January as well? No, straw is definitely December's its high point. So if that's the case, 49 is on the up, but what does it bottom out at? I don't think you ever make. We saw it earlier in the year, it was 43, so the fluctuations don't affect the price very much if that's the best. Right, so let's have a look at front loaders. Let's get the... I think I went for quick because it is the cheaper of the two front loaders by quite some now. Then this is only... yeah, we might as well go for the big one. It gives us a slightly longer reach. We need it this month, so we've got to do it. And yeah, we'll stick it as black. Actually, it'll go with anything then. And we want a bucket, front loaded tools. But yes, I was looking for something that's like a silagey fork type thing. There was a fantastic one, but I think it was one of the front loaders. I thought we'd got an adapter. For 2,100, otherwise it's that one. Let me just check. Is it the telehandler one that's got the adapter? Just reminding myself of what... there we go. This adapts front loader implements to telehandlers. Oh, we want the other way around. Telehandlers to front loaders, so we can't do it. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah. Wow, that's a decent 4,000 litres. Wow, that's certainly some that are getting there. That was what I was looking at, the silage fork. Yeah, you can't change its thing. It is just it's a shame because that would do us proud. So then, in front loader tools, we do have that as an option because it would also serve as a grapple for trees, but it would take absolutely 1,250. I suppose it's only 700 and would also serve as proud for that. It does two things. Because we can grab logs with those. It's an idea I was having. So it's multi-purpose. It would just mean that it is going to take us forever. Or do we just... because we're going to need a bucket in time, aren't we? Still... I seriously think, for now, probably we will go that way. Yeah, it does all kinds of silage, manure and all that type of thing, and definitely does our straw. So, and it will also pick logs up, so I think yes, let's go for it. So we probably wasted our entire year's thing from the straw already, in fact probably more. I think that's probably taken more than we will earn from that, but this is also an investment, so we can't look at it like that. Oh, I didn't put the front loader on, did I? Remember now. I was going to, and then I said no, let's go old school. I remember, I saw it in editing. So we now need to spend another 1,500. There's a repair as well while we're here. And let's customise you. Quick. So we can go narrows. Right, I'm not going to do it now. Right. Okay. Fantastic. Zoom in a little. I still feel like a tiny little ant. Right. So actually, with it having some wide tyres, it really should have been at its best when it was getting grip for planting with a 3-metre planter, and yet we've still got wheel slip. Now then. Yeah, we're not going to need the jaws, are we, for this job, I don't think. Right, let's grab the biggest trailer and get it ready for next time. But we're going to place that mod down. By the time we get to the harvest, we will almost have made its money back, and then it's a permanent boost. It will be on almost 2,000 increase a month. We'll leave this up here to start working on this set. Let's take that off. Let's get this in a good position for loading into where I don't need to be moving too much. Oh wow, didn't realise I'd actually got some. Not some, we actually filled our forks. Right. Right, there you go. Let me just tip that in there while we're here. While we've got it. Yeah, it's going to be some bit of a pain, isn't it? Whoa. Smash it. Okay. Some of our money's spent already, but it's growth. We knew we'd have to investigate. That was me half thinking if you got to speculate to accumulate and actually saying that at the same time. Oh, look at that, 1777.1. Right. Yes, we next have the big job of getting all that straw. So I would think there's a lot in there, but I would imagine we'll 3/4 the way get the cost of the fork and that back. So yeah, our investment will half pay for itself. Right, so then let's just place this production and then we're going to leave it there. It is a production, it has some passive income of, and I will discuss this before we go. Right, so yeah, we want to block the, we also need its dumping section. Ah, that would be perfect, thinking about it. If we go sideways like that. I prefer it though if we dumped at the back, even if we leave a tiny bit of room like so. No, because I'm going to muck around with that. I know where we could stick it. This is our land. Is it a bit out of the way? Not really, no, because no, it isn't, thinking about it. Let's twizzle it around though. Let's go the other way. This is all of our land, halfway, yeah, there. Stick that about there. Smashing. Now then, let me just look at that again. I'll just show you. Its passive income is 1,248 a month. So I'm not going mad. In the 6 or 7 months that we've put that down, we're going to make nearly 2 months, 1,650 something with our other generator as well per month, which in 6 or 7 months, July is 7, Yeah, 7 months at almost 2 is 14,000. So we'll almost have made that back in the 6 months that we've placed it. So it is worth doing. So all we've got to do now is, he says, it's like it's a little job. All we've got to do now is just shift that 250 tons ish is my guesstimate of straw. There was one other thing I was thinking as well. We've got about 10,000 left of our profit for this year. Obviously we're going to get some back for the straw, but there was one other thing I was thinking, and that was of going into the production of the carpentry. Seemed very apt for the fact that each of the squares in No Man's Land actually have wood, which is the carpentry. It's one of the smaller ones, isn't it? Is it that one? Yes, that one there. 60,000. How big is it? Fairly big. Yes, I was thinking this would actually scupper the tractor, but this is what I was sort of trying to say about the tractor, was the fact that as we stand now, don't get me wrong, I'm more than anybody, I'm having to run around in this with 3 metre equipment and 4 metre equipment, and like using the subsoiler as a stroke cultivator, which of course we know it does leave the cultivated finish, it is a mammoth task. But if there is an end in sight, if what we're doing now is going to end, and we can put a production down like carpentry that will help us, we've got that set of trees there, and we have got some trees up there, we've got the trees that we'd already put down, we could start the production going from our own stuff, which we could do during the winter, as well as the passive income that's going to get us about 12,000. So we're going to be still going up each month. But I thought if we've not got that many trees to chop, but we've got quite a few that we could literally put into the production, that hopefully by the time we reached, let's just have a look. If we're going to do this, how much does furniture bring in? I know it's one of the better ones. Yeah, we're actually at one of the lowest points of furniture at the minute, halfway through the year. So actually, we'd be reaching the high points of the year when we were ready to harvest our canola. So the two things would work hand in hand. We could literally fill that over the winter and have it on producing, and then come July we can start to sell with it. So yeah, there's two ways to look at this. We could invest 60 grand of that and have 50,000 left. No way can we have a tractor, but we don't need a tractor. We've planted. It's a pain because I know what's going to happen. I suppose we did always say that we'd have got the choice of bank loans. If a super duper, absolutely the best deal ever came up in that 6 months, we could go for that. And I just think productions are what are going to make the difference, especially on hard economy. It is tough actually farming. I mean, that we sold earlier, we would have made 4 times the amount if we were on easy economy. That 30 odd grand would have been 120,000 had we have been in standard. We'd have now been rich, whereas we are just making profit. We have invested though, of course. We've invested in that, which is also passive income, and we've invested in the front loader. So we have literally taken our profit and put it straight into something that's going to make us more profit, plus which going forwards we can grab the trees properly in that without having to chop them into tiny weeny little things, which is good. If we did go the production route, which I seriously think we should, I'm going to mull it over, but I seriously think we should go the carpentry route, bearing in mind, let's just have a look at the map. I did say about 47 I wasn't going to buy that. 58 I definitely was, and as you can see, 58 has got the back end of the that quite dense forest there, but also has got that section there. So it would be ideal that if we were going to do that, then we would buy 58. Of course, we've also then got to find 85,000 to do it. But if we've got means of income, we've got this that's going to start us off, and this here, that all those few trees there that would keep our carpentry going for a few months. We can feed it ourselves from our own land, make some profit. By the time July hits, we can then sell our products. If we have it on storing, we can then sell in the month of July when it is its highest and make quite a bit of money, and then hopefully by what we'd made through productions being thousands rather than a few hundreds, then we would make some serious dosh basically and actually get our, I know we've got a 60 grand in, but it is one of the cheapest productions, funnily enough. And I just thought, with this being no man's land and having quite a bit of trees, that and also it would mean that we're making our fields bigger. I mean, if you think about it, we could clear those trees. Now we have that front loader, and I could actually put the carpentry in that slot. It would fit very nicely there without taking too much of a land, because I suppose we could put it there though. It's not going to hurt, is it? I don't know how well we've placed the stone thing, whether we've left ourselves any room, because it goes that way. It actually dumps the lime bit out on that part of the land. I don't know if we could get our carpentry there. There's definitely no room down this end now. We are getting tight. There's only so many. I suppose we could put the carpentry in the land that we clear the trees from there. There's options. There are options. We'll look at the best thing when we definitely, when I'm 100% happy that is the route we take. I seriously think it is though. We've got to do something with this being hard economy. It is hard for us, and it is tough work. I've got to be honest. I don't fancy using the tiny weeny seeders and planters, well, seeder that we've got to keep on trundling along that with the 3 meters is absolutely backbreaking, and is, as I in my Let's Play The Experiment, which is just to literally show damage and all the rest of it, I did come to one conclusion after watching. You see, I've done this with brand new equipment and with big equipment, and the advantage is with a big equipment, because you're covering the field, even though it's a big field, quite quickly. Your damage was, I think it was 3% on the tractor when I did each job, or it might have been three in total. It was a ridiculous amount of damage to the tractor, which cost us a few hundred. Now when we do the jobs on the little tractor, because we're out in the fields for absolutely hours, multiple times, not just once. We've got a 4 meter subsoiler, that takes hours. We've got a 3 meter seeder, that takes hours. Each of those jobs, there's only things like the fertilising spreading and the rollers that are sort of quite good sort of spreads that we're not out in the fields for ages. When you're out in the fields for ages, that's when the damage hits, and our damage is like 1,800 to repair when it gets to that 66%, and you need to do that multiple times. We are at the worst point of costs, repair costs at the present thing, with the fact that we have very small equipment. So yes, again, this type of farming, when you have got little equipment, is costly due to repairs as well. So we can't continue at this rate forever, but of course we are in a dilemma, because we can't do much better, because the horsepower of our tractor is limiting the equipment that we can use. The only thing we can do is the trick that we did this year, and we could actually buy one ourselves, which would be the weeder, which worked very well. Where are we? Weeder. Yes, if we bought ourselves one of those, hopefully it would come up on special offer, but of course it's not going to. That's only a 90 horsepower requirement. We could even go for... Why would I buy that one over that one? That's a 9 metre. That's a 9 metre. What? Why would I do that? I don't get it. Yeah, for 18,000, if we stuck to canola, which is a very decent sort of product, that's a 12 metre. But the same again, that's a lot of money though. That would have to be on special for us to afford. That would seriously cripple us. Most important thing is that, but that would be probably, I really enjoyed doing the field with 9 metres. That did not take us very long at all. That would be fantastic. We could stick to canola for a couple of times, plus which we are also saving on the herbicide costs for spraying the fields, which that's an also added bonus. So yeah. What did I just do? Oh, don't tell me, did I just lease? Why did I get a 1,500? Was that the leasing cost for something that's just clobbered us? Let's have a look on the costs, the daily costs. What has just clobbered us? Income 38,000. That's nice to see it in that. 260. Construction. New vehicles. I don't get it. I haven't sold anything by mistake, have I, in the garage? Just check, because that's... accidentally click on something or something daft, did I? Seeders, rollers, front loaders, subsoilers, ploughs. Oh, I'd forgotten we'd invested in that good plough. Sprayers, fertilisers. I can't see anything obvious missing. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, without any further ado, well, I think we're making progress. We've got some excellent passive income. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say. That selling limestone produced from stones is a very lucrative business. I could literally buy some stone from that, and with the 4:1 ratio that creates lime, I could then sell lime at, let me show you, because it's you would not believe how much you get, how much lime sells for when you consider how much we buy it for. But let me just show you. 1,556. So obviously in normal and easy it's like 3 times that, but even that for us is absolutely quite phenomenal. That is an excellent price. If you imagine I bought stones from that cheap as chips and then ran them over to that, it does a 4:1 recipe. So like if I take a ton of stones, I get 4 tons of lime from that 1 ton of stones at 1,556. Overnight we literally could earn absolutely thousands. It chugs away at a rapid rate as well, so it's not something. So I could now turn us around. Tomorrow morning we could be up to 2,000, 200,000. I don't want any mod or anything to super duper change things when it's not done by our own hands. I want this to be done fairly, honestly. And I'm not saying that it's dishonest to do it that way. The game will allow me to do it. But as a person, I don't want to do that. I want this to be a true... If we invest in a production, and legitimately like it's the tree production, that's by our own work. Me lugging 20 tons of stone from that costs us peanuts over to there to earn us 80 grand is not... That's abusing it. But in saying that, the one thing I would say is I hate the fieldstone because of the cost of the elho. And I would not use let's have a look. I can't think of the names. Let's look for rock pickers, stone pickers even. Yeah, the Degelmans. There's no way I am doing 2.4 metre pickups with that. And also look at the cost. For just a little bit more you can get the Scorpio 5.5 metres. So if I was going to do that, this is the reason I switch it off, is because we would need to invest, whether it's leasing. What would be leasing? 2,652. So maybe the first time we did it, we would have to do that. I would willingly, after this harvest, stick Fieldstone on and then lease one of those, because I would see that as fair. I don't mind if we've got to roll over this field. It's going to take literally hours. We've got repair costs to the tractor. If we got 10 ton of stone, I don't mind at that point sticking that in there, because we did it ourselves. I don't mind that. Also, especially the very first year, I would invest in the stone picker equipment ready for the time afterwards, and then we would see profit. Again, it's all about seeing growth. That I see as fair. It would bring us money back in to compensate us for the fact of the stone picking equipment, which would be useful, or make us a little bit of money off the sweat of our own brow. I don't mind that, but I'm not going to abuse a mod like this super duper thing. It would be different if we had a production. I have done this on my others. I've got a sugar production on my 2 other Let's Plays, where I buy in the sugar beet if I'm doing sugar cane, or sugar cane if I'm doing sugar beet. And I see that as, this is realistic in so much as that is a buy point. It simulates me buying produce from other farmers. So yes, I don't mind buying sugar cane in them to keep my productions going. And you could say, oh well, stone's just the same. Yeah, you could do, but because of the price difference, it could seriously unbalance. I did exactly the same on my lone oak, where you get that many trees on the lone oak map that there's no way you can't make money if you're going to start chopping trees. Most people recognise that, but I thought, yeah, but that's it. I don't want to win this Let's Play by, oh, I've been handed a cup in my hands, let's just use that and run with it. I didn't like to do that, so I didn't do that. And we did that. We finished the Lone Oak series with probably 4 million. If we sold everything, we would have literally had 4 million in the bank. We literally had 3.5, I think, literal cash, and I'd still got tons and tons of stuff, product, manure coming out. My literally 200 tons of manure that would have got me digestate. We had the slurry yard, was making an absolute fortune. So yes, I'm not like, of course I want to make money, but I want to do it honestly, just the same as I did in Lone Oak. I didn't cut a corner. I didn't make that easy money by sort of being a bit cheeky, or being a lot cheeky. So yeah, I want to follow the same path here. I want this to be won by the sweat of our brow. I want to see growth, but I want to see growth honestly, not through a super mod that's just that one mod won the game for us. I don't want that. I want this to be about us farming and making money honestly. Yes, of course, productions is a part of that as well. In FS22, you can't pretend it's not. That is where we are going to make the money that will, I mean, if we were going to carry on in the way that we have done so far, where we're earning 30-something thousand every year, that this would take us an awful lot of years just to buy a tractor alone. So there has got to be some means of, which of course is productions. So yes, I think the carpentry one fits this map really well. So I think truthfully we should invest in that production, which is going to literally leave us with 50 odd grand, and then at that point we will chug along. By the time that our canola's ready to harvest, obviously this month we've got to do the straw, forgetting that job, that massive task ahead, but after that we've then got 7 months, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, 7 months, which is almost 2,000 a month off our passive income. But also in that month, I think there's a limit of storage limit on these. If it's the same as the sugar, I think it's 35 tons of storage it's allowed to it goes into the red and just sits there then at 35 tons. So that's the most we can actually, if it just goes inactive and holds back. So that's 35 tonnes of furniture we can have ready to sell in the month of July when it's at its highest, to make the most possible money, to bring in all of the labour of our hard work over the winter, where we're going to be chopping trees and putting them in a pile. And of course we've got the front loader now that does that as well. We've gone multi-purpose with the front loader on purpose so that we can exactly do that. That grabs logs ever so well. That's why I picked it. It's fantastic. Do love it. Better even more than the log fork. So we've literally built in for the future even now. So yes, we'll chop some of those trees down, make some space, put the carpentry shop in where that trees is, I think is probably the very best slot for it. I think so. Although, is it best to do it up by the shop? We shall see. This is something I shall deliberate over the day. That's something for deliberation and not something to waffle on about. So anyway, without any further ado, these are the plans I'm thinking about for the next few months, to actually begin to see us go from struggling to making a difference, to actually start making some reasonable money. Because if we literally carry on just doing the field work as we are doing, we are going to be here for an awful long time. And I don't mind being here for an awful long time, but I would like to see we're going to eke a living rather than make a good living. And I don't think any farmer wishes to. We have got some money still left in the kitty, which is why I've held it back. Which is why in some ways I consider this tractor here is a workhorse. At the present we've got it, it works well. I think it's like anything, although we've got 113 grand, which would be enough to buy a really good deal bigger tractor. If we did that, it would clear us out and we've got no money to invest. Whereas if we do it the other way, we've invested in that. If we also invested in the carpentry business, if we start to chop some trees over winter, we can then fill that and get it storing in readiness for July, when we could make a massive profit from selling the carpentry, the furniture, in the best month of the year. And at that point we're ready to harvest the canola. So win-win. I think seriously there's no better way. The only thing that I've got left to worry about is placement of the... Now that's very hilly up there though, isn't it? Looking up there, that's not, that's flat. So I think the decision has really been taken out of our hands. We will put the carpentry place on the wood, on that forest that we're going to move. Yeah, that's it then. Decision made. Because I think if we bring it down here, we're going to muck around with... I know we're going to shift this here, but we do need some... I suppose we could put it next to this, but again it's the pull-in space. That's why I tried to leave this... We might put a shed in at some point, but I seriously think there's enough going on here with like pull-in places that we ought to leave this as it is. Maybe a shed next to that, but a carpentry place, I'm not sure. That's not going to seriously muck around with pulling in here and pulling and grabbing the stuff out of the silo at times. So we shall see. It is still an option. It would be a better place than where the trees are, if I'm honest. I personally think, bearing in mind the placement of going forwards, I don't suppose it would make much of a difference thinking about it. If we were going to buy 47 in time and we're definitely going to buy 58, then yeah, we'll be grabbing trees from that. It's still central, in fact probably more so. So actually yeah, maybe that is probably the best place to go, as long as it's not going to get in the way of the stone place, which it wouldn't if it was over here. Yeah, right, I think that's it. We've discussed it enough to know that that's where we're going to stick it down. Right, and anyway, without any further ado, this time I am really going. Thank you very much for listening to me waffling. Thank you very much for sharing in this journey with me. Hope you're going to continue. I think going forwards, I think we've got the recipe for change in the right direction and growth in the right direction. So anyway, without any further ado, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.